Gustaf, and it feels a little bit challenging be up on stage after Kevin's inspiring session. I don't know if you were on the session as well. I guess you were, yeah. But I will do my best. But feel free to ask any questions during the session. I'm feeling very proud to be here having this presentation around our management system because I feel that we have done a great work. It's not complete. We have named the session Explorers on a Management System Journey, and we use the Explorer term within Centiro. But I have this one. It doesn't work? Okay. Do I have to stand over here? The cameraman, this doesn't work? Yeah, okay. But do you hear me even though I stand beside?
I can hear you, but other people probably don't. You need to stand there.
Okay, I need to stand here. Then I switch my computer screen over to this. Yeah, as I said, we at Centiro would like to see ourselves as explorers. Explorers in the way that we like to see things in a different view than others does. And I think that explorer view has been reflected in our management system implementation as well. And I hope you will see that during this presentation. First off, a little bit about myself. I work as a CISO at Centiro. I've been working there since August last year. Before that, I've been working as a Chief Security Officer at the city of Gothenburg, so it's a quite big difference between the two types of organization. Right now, we are about 170 persons at Centiro. At the city of Gothenburg, we were 50,000 employees and 70,000 students, so it was a massive difference. I've been working 19 years within the information security and IT security field in different types of roles, both as a consultant and, as I said, as a Chief Security Officer, and also in developing and technical roles during the years. And I've also been working equally amount of time between both private and public sector during my years. And as you see, I have some security certifications as well. The presentation will be divided into two different sections. And the sections are there for a purpose, of course. The first section will give you a context of what Centiro does and how the importance of the management system have been for our success. And the second part will cover the management system parts and the journey we have done with regards to the management system. So, and as I said before, feel free to ask questions during the presentation. First of all, Centiro, we is a software company. We deliver a software as a service solutions for transport management and carrier systems, helping companies delivering the last mile, parcel handling. So it's quite crucial for a lot of companies. But I will show you a short movie that explains our business against retailers. And hopefully the sound will be with me as well.
We live in a new world where digitization is driving change in many businesses. The retail and e-commerce industry are at the epicenter of an ongoing revamp where the connected consumer is defining the game. It's an exciting time of change and growth where new opportunities constantly show up. Point of sale is becoming point of service. E-commerce and a full-circle brand experience are critical for success these days, all driven by consumers who demand a seamless experience. This puts pressure on brand owners and the systems behind the scenes, pressing traditional solutions beyond their limits. Since 1998, Centiro has brought state-of-the-art ingenious logistics software to companies that seek to make a difference, including some of the more prominent brands in the world. Centiro weaves together the delivery capabilities and services needed to achieve a seamless customer experience. For retailers, the challenges are spelled omni-channel and speed of change. For pure-play e-commerce, it's how you expand quickly and remain on top of the game. Centiro helps you take control over delivery management in a world where services are at the heart of the full-circle brand experience. With Centiro, you'll find a partner for innovation with a passion and drive to make a difference. Are you up for a change?
Okay. The movie was taken in the near of our global hub in Borås in Sweden, where I come from as well. And Borås is the global hub since and have been since '98. And we're about 150 persons in Borås. And this office building you see here has got a friend in a new office building, equally sized, which we are about to move into right now. Right now it's empty, but in a couple of years we think it will be filled up with additional colleagues and friends. And we also have added Pune in India the last 1.5 years, and we're about 20 persons there. And we have the support and development in Pune. We also have sales office in London and Boston. And in Boston, which is quite new, we have employees handling support as well. So we have 24/7 support. Before Boston were started, we had the 24 support divided between Borås and Pune. And our SaaS delivery is delivered from either our data centers within locations close to Borås or through third-party cloud vendors like Azure. So we have deliveries from Azure in US and EU for our SaaS delivery. Through our partner, we have done a survey with regards to users having poor experiences when they are shopping. And based on those figures, you see that it's steadily increasing the likelihood that you would switch to an alternative site if you experience a bad experience or a poor online experience. So because of our delivery is within the core of those deliveries, and as you saw in the movie, it's very important that our solutions are working against the customers. And it's steadily increasing. We try to make it easy for our customers. So we connect to a lot of carriers, and the customers connect to us through one integration, and through that integration they get connected to the carriers that they need to connect to make their business successful. But if you see the vulnerability in this picture as well, the availability part is very crucial for our customers, because Centiro is so into the core of our customers' businesses. So if the availability goes down for our solution, just in a couple of minutes, the customers call us and wonder when will the service be up again. And if you take it into the customer view, you have a warehouse with parcels that are about to be shipped, and you have trucks that are not able to be loaded because the parcels have not been marked up correctly. So the trucks keep bulking up. So in a couple of hours, you get traffic problems because the trucks are not able to leave. And in the end, users and consumers do not get their parcels in time. And in Sweden, we have medicines going through some of our customers. So it can be a matter of not life and death in the short perspective, but in the longer perspective, it can be a matter of life and death. So it's a very crucial with regards to the availability, but it's also other part because we have a lot of customers, so the confidentiality perspective between the customers is also crucial because the fares that one customer pays to a carrier is very different depending on the volumes that a customer have. So the confidential perspective is also very important. And also you have the integrity perspective. If you mark up or change a couple of thousand or a couple of 100,000 packages, so they are they end up at a couple of 100,000 different destinations, will be a massive impact on the customer as well. So we have those aspects to consider when we deliver our service. Okay, next one is a little bit of bragging and showing off. We have a great workplace, but I think why I included this slide is to show, I will come back to that later on, but the culture part has been a very important part in our integration of our management system. So having a good culture in place has given us very many benefits and eased our integration of and the acceptance of the management system. Okay. Next part, the journey. Our ISO certifications until today is the following. So we have in total 8, and the last 2 was certified just 2 weeks ago. So they are quite new, so we haven't received the diplomas yet, but the report was successful and the outcome was good. But the journey really began during 2014 when our board of directors took a decision that we should should head to against ISO 27001 certification based on customer requirements at that time, but also at the potential requirements that they saw at the customer that we were aiming at, so to say. And it took about a year to complete the first certification. It was a lot of effort. We had a lot of documentation and processes and roles in place before we started the journey, but the certification process made us wiser and filled the gap where we lacked some of the recurring activities to create the robust infrastructure that we need to have for our customers based on the context that I described earlier on. As soon as we got certified, our board of directors took another decision to head against the 3 additional certifications you see, 17, 18, and 32, with regards to cloud, sounds logical. We deliver a cloud service, should be certified and secure cloud-wise. And we also have PII, which feels very good now because of the regulations that we see worldwide. And 32 with regards to cybersecurity. And as you see, between quarter 2 and quarter 3, it's only a couple of months, but based on the effort we had put in the first during the 2701, we were able to implement and do the certification work in just a few months. And the next certification that you see up here with regards to sustainability is subjects that have always been important for Centiro since the start, but with the positive effects that we saw with regards to the information security, the board of directors thought that it would be a good idea to get certified against the sustainability parts as well for the positive effects. So 3 of them are sustainability related. As you see, the environment, energy, and work environment or occupational health and safety. And they also decided to add the additional certification around business continuity because of the customers that we are having. So it's a complement to the 2701 or 27 series there. Okay. Next part, our point of departure. I have already talked about the management support and the importance of that. And the management support have been massive already from start. And you keep talking about the management support, but within Centiro, we truly have a management support. Our CEO, Niklas, for example, he acts as an ambassador throughout the organization, talking about the management system on a daily basis. He have a daily routine to talk to every employee and say hello. I wonder how long he would be able to do that, but so far he's been able to do that. And he talks about the importance of this work. And now when we have expanded our scope to cover sustainability part, it's getting even more interesting, I think. So the management support is very important. You also have the scope part. Already from the start, the board of directors took the decision to cover all parts of Centiro. So it's much easier to have the whole scope. So when we grow, we already cover those parts as well, already from start. So I think that is a very good part. And we have always been market driven. And I think that have given us the insight of doing the right things at the right time, not all things right from the start. So the market-driven part is also very important for this work, I think. And the integration, I talked about the integration before, but already from start, even though it was in a more, so to say, isolated scale, it was already from start integrated into the business. So the activities that we have was part of the ongoing business. So it wasn't a separate certification thing we did. We did it in the business with the actual people that were supposed to do it recurrently after the certification process was completed. And then we have the crew. At Centiro, we love Star Wars. So especially our CEO and owner, Niklas. But this is an employee who is doing knitting as her spare time. So You find those as well in all our offices. I have seen, we were visiting Boston, so I saw there were knitting wear there as well. But to come back to the crew part, we have used internal resources mainly with regards to the core parts of the management system throughout the process. We have had some expert help from the side, but not within the core. So the core have been within Centiro and not a separate project or something. It's have been within the core. We use, of course, external help and experts for activities related to the management system, but not within the core. Yes, the expedition. We already from start we worked with projects with deadlines. We had the goal date for second quarter for the first one, 2015, and based on that we divided it up into a lot of activities and with deadlines, and we took them one by one. And when I say we, I wasn't part of that journey at that time, but that way of work have continued for the other certification and the other work as well. So we constantly work with activities and deadlines and responsibilities for all activities and follow it up constantly. So it's a very important part. The work have been formalized and systematic, and it sounds, yeah, that's not a big deal, but I think the formalized part was a very big difference from the work before we had a management system in place. I think the systematic, we have a yearly cycle containing all activities that we do in a year with annual activities, biannual activities, monthly activities, and all those activities are described with responsibility and participants and where the records are keeping. And that structure, when we were heading for the new 4 certifications around sustainability and business continuity, that we could right from start fill in the new activities with regards to the new areas as well. So we have a very solid ground to stand upon for the new certifications. So it's a very important part. And the continuous improvement part is of course a very important part as well, because when we do a thing for the first time, we know it's not perfect, but it's okay that it's not perfect, but we have something that we can further develop next time and the time after that, and so on. So I think that gives a good way of working, that everyone in the room that are participating in a certain activity knows that it's okay if it's not perfect. So they feel more relaxed with regards to the activity and more positive as well. Okay? The benefits. I have divided the benefit parts in 2 different aspects. One more indirect customer focus and one with more direct customer focus. And this one is more indirect focus. I see that we have a big cultural difference between before and after management system. And I see the same transformation with regards to sustainability that we have seen with regards to information security. And this is a tool that we use on a weekly basis to measure how each team within Centiro feels. So it's quite powerful because it gives a ground for discussion within each team So you answer it anonymously, so you get a discussion based on a group or team result within the team, so you can solve problems that wouldn't appear or arise otherwise. And the manager also get a report, so he or she can act and react before it becomes really bad. And the culture part and awareness part, we see that we get more questions and more reports with regards to information security activities if we see an before and after perspective. So it's a huge difference in the cultural aspects. And the discussions between colleagues with regards to the information security area also are spreading to the customer dialogue, of course. So the internal dialogue are spreading to the customer dialogue as well. Because of the management system, we do more accurate actions and in the right time. Because all those activities I was talking about within the yearly cycle that we have makes us aware about what to do and when. Because we do every activity recurringly, so it's very powerful, I think. So that's also including the continuous improvement part. And the management system gives us a structure that we can build upon. For example, when we establish new offices, it's not a matter of years, months, it's a matter of weeks for have a fully established office. And we have a onboarding program that covers all the management system areas well. But we could do it even better, I think. But the management system have given us a good fundament to start this work and continue to improve it. Okay, that's the indirect part. And the direct part is with regards to marketing, for example, in sales process or RFP processes. We don't have the same type of discussions that we had before. We are already at another level right from start, and you see the same dialogue with a current customer as with new customer. You get up one level right from start. So it's and you also have the if you look at in a resource hours put in an RFP processes. Sometimes it's good enough just to put in your diplomas and you're done. Before it was a couple of hundred hours to answer a RFP for our sake. And we feel that our customer trusts us more after the management system and the certification was in place. So it's a huge difference. We are able to talk in another way, as I said before, at another level. So feels really good, I think. Okay. But as I said from the beginning, we are not perfect. We have still a lot to improve. And based on our new locations, we grow. We need to be more context-based with our adoptions and our measurements. So I think that is an improvement area for us. I also see that the ISO certifications is some of the certifications we have. We have additional and, as I see it, somewhat overlapping certifications as well with other certification bodies. So I think we need to convince the customer, because it's often customer driven, that we have to have those 5 certifications, or do a couple of assessments yearly based on customer requirements. But if we can convince the customer that the ISO certification is good enough, so to say, I think we are able to do even better work within the ISO certifications that we have, and help the customer deliver an even better service. So, and I also see with regards to our new locations, I think we need to distribute our role at an early stage to make sure that we are as efficient as we was when we only was located in Borås, for example. So it's a challenge when we grow, I think. But I think it's possible to do small changes to make it successful and as efficient as it was before when we were only located in Borås. Okay. To summarize this presentation up, we have the most important part, the management support. It's like in all classes, management support, always that. But it's very important, and convincing the management to be ambassadors give you a huge benefit in the other work. And for us, internal resources was a key success factor, and not have it as a separate. You can have it as a separate, but you don't get the value of the management system, as I see it. And start lightweight and do it iterative. Have the continuous improvement approach. I think it's okay not to be perfect right from start. Build it up as you go, and have the customer focus. For us, it have been a key success factor for our work. So that was a quick session. But do we have any questions? No? Okay. Yeah.
Very good presentation, Gustaf.
Thank you.
You mentioned that you include the entire organization.
Yes.
Cool.
Yeah.
Then you said you start and then you do it iteratively. So
Yeah.
Can you explain?
Yeah. We cover all the organization, and for example, some parts are mandatory. For example, information security policy, but the information security policy can be at one stage when you start and cover all organization. But as you do your awareness program and you do your quizzes or whatever, you see that they are lacking some or misunderstand some information within the information security policy. So you have to adjust it and make it more consumable and available for the employees. So that's what I mean. You cover it, but you do it in an iterative approach. So you cover it in a version 1, so to say. Okay. Yeah. So
continual improvement.
Yeah, continual improvement, constantly. Yeah. Good question. Yeah. We're about 170 right now.
Do you have a dedicated team to do the management of all these management systems?
Yeah, we have Sofia here and Thomas there. And a couple of others who are in the core virtual team. So we do other things besides management system work. So it's only part of it, of my time, but I always work within the management system. So, but we don't have a governing team working with the management system full time because we are too small. So that's one part to mature even further and be efficient over time as well. So we don't need to have a department to have the management system. Yeah. But I think when I started the Explorer view, I think we have done a great work doing it efficient and integrated between the different certifications. So, yeah. Yeah, it's very challenging, but at the same time, fun. Yeah, okay. Yeah.
So following to her question, I think you just mentioned it, but you integrated your management systems?
Yes.
So when you do internal audits or management review, are you looking at everything at once, or are you breaking it down into?
We have a internal audit program plan which cover all parts, and some parts are specific for the different certifications, but some parts are in a more integrated view. So the core parts, the internal auditor can go through quite quickly compared to other companies because it's so tightly integrated between the different certifications. So, but some parts are, of course, specific. Yeah.
I'm interested in hearing how you determine what is core that you will do internally versus what you'll get an expert to do.
Yeah, sometimes it's a management decision. For example, we had a discussion about should we have internal forensics experts? That's a good question because we have 170 persons, and how often do we need to do forensic investigations? So far, none. So then we decided to have an external agreement with the forensic expert partner, but we decided to have the incident part within our own company. So we educated a bunch of people within our company to be able to conserve proof and evidence at the incident stage, which then can be delivered to the external party. So it's case by case, I would say, but yeah. Okay, any more questions? Okay, once again, thank you.